Yep. So, thank you everyone for joining. So, let me introduce myself. Myself, Hitesh. I do have overall 13 years of experience, and in Snowflake, since around 6 years, I'm working on Snowflake. Before that, I worked with multiple data engineering projects. Okay, so that's pretty much about myself. Let's get started with the today's agenda and what we are going to discuss today. So we'll try to understand who this course is for. Okay, if you're already working professional on any technology, and if you'd like to switch to Snowflake, okay, it is for them. And even if you are complete fresher, like I mean, if you like to switch, to Snowflake, then since we'll be covering from scratch, okay, even if you are complete fresher, or even if you have worked earlier in any technology, you'll be able to switch to Snowflake. So, what is the prerequisite for this course is SQL. If you have SQL knowledge or exposure, that will be great. But if you don't have any SQL exposure or knowledge as well, don't worry. Since we are getting started from scratch, we'll have separate SQL sessions for all non-SQL background folks. If you're already from data background, we can skip them. And in case uh, I mean, if you if you're not from SQL background, you can join those sessions. Initially, we'll get started with SQL content. Okay. So how it is Monday to Friday we'll have Snowflake sessions, and every Saturday we'll have a SQL session. Before we get started with actual Snowflake content, first we'll have a SQL session, then we'll start with the Snowflake content, and every Saturday we'll continue those SQL sessions. SQL is a prerequisite because Snowflake is a cloud database. Got it? What are the prerequisites? Is you need to have SQL knowledge. As I said, if you're not from SQL background, since we'll be getting started from scratch and we'll be having SQL sessions as well, you don't have to worry. Okay. And regarding any software installation for practice, right? Since Snowflake is software as a service in cloud, okay, you will understand what it is. You just need internet and browser. Any computer, you don't need a high-end computer. Okay, any laptop or computer with the proper internet. Okay, because you don't have to install anything for us to practice using Snowflake. In the browser itself, like Gmail, we'll sign up for a Snowflake account. You will get 120 days free trial without, I'll show you how to get started with it as we progress. Okay, how to sign up for a Snowflake free trial, 120 days trial account, and how to start practicing there. Okay, and it's not licensed. Snowflake is not licensed. It is how it they'll charge is based on usage. Okay, for us, for trial account, for 120 days, it will be free. After that, also with just a new, mail ID, you'll be able to create another account. Okay, so this 120 days, like 4 months, is more than enough for us for practice. In case if you want to extend, we can extend. We can create another account for practice. It should not be an issue. And this in the trial account also, whatever how we use Snowflake in real projects, the same environment will get. It's not a different thing. Okay, so let's see now, nowadays we have a lot of other technologies as well, right? Why you have to learn this Snowflake? What is a benefit that you are going to get? Let's try to understand. See, Snowflake is a demanding skill and hard skill in the market even now. Okay, since last 2 3 years, Snowflake has got a lot of demand and a lot of clients are using, and it is a hard skill in Snowflake. See, if you take now the scenario, um, I mean, IT is a bit down. Say for freshers, there are no openings, and only for it, like complete freshers. If you start as a fresher, there are no openings. If you claim certain experience and if you start, like, you have got openings. And few technologies, there are no openings even for experienced ones. But Snowflake has got a lot of demand. Okay, even this week, two of our candidates got offers. Last week, three of our candidates from previous batch got offers. So um, Snowflake has got demand, and it is not a snow. If you are already from data background, in data warehousing there is a way of designing a database as a Snowflake schema. It is not Snowflake schema. Snowflake is not a Snowflake schema. It is We call it as, it is like a cloud database. We call it as Snowflake Data Cloud. You'll get complete clarity on what it is and about Snowflake Data Cloud as we progress. But it is a database, cloud database, you can say, which is available on all clouds, AWS, Azure, and GCP, not just restricted to one cloud. You would have heard about Microsoft Azure, Amazon Web Services from Amazon, and Google Cloud Platform, right? From Google. So Snowflake, right? The main advantage for Snowflake is it is available in all public clouds, AWS, okay, Azure, and GCP. So whichever cloud your client is using, Snowflake has got demand. I mean, if you learn Snowflake, you'll have the opportunity in all those projects. So the demand will be high. And there are other reasons as well. We'll see the technical reasons why Snowflake is demanding. Before we go there, let's understand why our candidates are getting, they're getting offers and why they're getting clicked. Why you have to learn here. And what is the current market trend on Snowflake? Okay. So this is overall experience. Okay, if you claim to have overall 3 to 4 years of experience, out of which you can claim 2 to 4 years of, whatever, 2 years, even 2 years of relevant Snowflake experience out of your overall experience, the packages will be in this range, not like 7. The minimum package that you're going to get is 8.5 for 3 years, even if you claim 3 years. Up to for 3 to 4 years of overall experience, you can get up to 15 lakhs package, and 4 to 6 overall experience. The packages will be in this range in India even now. Okay, if you're getting the right opportunity, even beyond this also you can get. The candidates from our previous batch with just 4 years of experience who got 17 lakhs package as well. Okay, so this is overall experience, and this is the relevant the packages what we're getting in India, average packages. Okay, here why our candidates are getting clicked is you'll get complete resources. Before we dig into the technical details, I'll show you like what will be our what all things we are going to cover, what will be our structure. Then we'll go to the technical reasons why Snowflake is demanding. See, daily basis, you are going to get, our candidates are going to get, like say, suppose if you pick any session, you'll get the recording of that particular session, the complete code, what we are going to practice in that session for you to practice. Okay, the SQL code in the sense the SQL code. Okay, and then the detailed document and interview preparation kit with questions and answers on that specific topic. Daily basis, for each and every session, each and every topic, you are going to get interview preparation kit with questions and answers. So majority of the interview related stuff, right? We are scenarios, questions with answers. We are going to discuss in our sessions itself. And in the end, like for you to explain the project, right? Like as a part of project overview session, you are going to get the complete details on what to introduce. How to explain your project, what all things you are going to do. Okay, so initially when we started with the training, we observed like where candidates are failing is explain the project when they ask about the project work. So that also will be covered in the end of the training, so that when once you start your interviews, you can easily crack the interviews. Okay, yeah. So that's the thing. Now let's see the technical reasons why Snowflake has got demand. Okay. See, basically, Snowflake is a modern cloud data platform which is available as a software as a service in cloud in all 3 leading cloud platforms like AWS, Azure, Microsoft Azure, and Google Cloud Platform. Here, the thing is, let me explain you. Snowflake, why the clients are getting migrated to Snowflake or why they are using Snowflake is, earlier we have relational databases. Okay, relational databases, RDBMS means relational databases. You would have heard about Oracle, SQL Server, MySQL, these databases, right? They are actually relational database management systems. Okay, so there, how it is if you install that particular, suppose if you take Oracle, if you install Oracle in a machine or SQL Server in one computer, we call that as database server. Okay, whatever data we load into that database, it will be stored in the hard disk of that particular computer. Okay, and if you try to access that data through network, so if you have to how you will access that data which is there in your databases, you will use SQL, structured query language SQL. If you're not from data background, as a part of our regular SQL session, you'll get complete clarity on what is database, okay, what is database server, and when you how to run your queries, everything like SQL from database basics. Okay, we'll be getting started. That time you'll get better clarity. In simple terms, if you install any of these softwares like Oracle, SQL Server in a computer, and if data is stored in the, I mean, if you load any data, it will be stored in the hard disk of that computer. And if you try to access that data using SQL, so you know, right, to run any query on a database, you would require compute resources like processor, RAM. Okay, these compute resources we would need. Got it? So how we would get that in Snowflake is, I mean, the compute resources. It will make use of the, I mean, the processor RAM of this particular computer, that server, database server. Okay. What is the issue with this architecture is, I mean, with this relational database architecture is, in case of Oracle SQL Server, what issue we face is when the volume of data increases. Nowadays, you know, right? Volume of data is growing very fast. Okay, because of digital things and the Internet of Things, the volume of data is growing very fast. So if the volume increases and if number of users increase in these relational databases, you'll face performance issues. Why will face performance issues is this relational databases, when the volume increases and if the number of users increase, I can increase the capacity of this computer. This database server capacity I can increase. That is, I can add a more RAM, I can upgrade to high-end processor. Those things I can do. Okay. I mean, that particular database server, I can upgrade. Let's say I can add more RAM, more hard disk. Okay, upgrade to a high-end processor. Those things I can do. That is like vertical scaling. Vertical scaling. Like it is like one big mission will do the work for you. Vertical scaling means the capacity of single mission we are going to increase. Okay, that is like one big mission will do the work for you. That is vertical scaling in regular relational databases. Okay, so even you can think logically. A single person, even if he is very talented, with this limited time, like say 24 hours, how much work he can do? There is certain limit, right? Okay, even if he's very talented, like here one big mission, if it is working for you means how it is that way. But if you can distribute the workload to multiple computers, to a group of computers, if you can distribute the work to multiple persons, if they are doing that work parallelly, then what will happen? You can finish that work or complete that work faster, right? Think logically. So that horizontal scaling, that is distributing that workload to multiple computers as a group of computers, you can't do in case of relational databases. Okay, when the volume of data increase or if number of users increase, you can increase the capacity of that database server vertically. That is, you can upgrade that machine to a high-end machine, but still you'll face issues, right? There is certain limit how much volume of data it can handle, even if it is very powerful computer, right? So if you can distribute that to multiple computers, I mean, a group of computers, that when, I mean, it can complete that work faster, right? So that you can't do in case of relational databases. That's when if you take uh, few years back, you have Hadoop big data. You would have heard about Hadoop big data that came in. Hadoop big data came in. Okay, in big data,
Hitesh, you're not audible.
Looks like he disconnected. Maybe he joined. Yeah, looks like yeah.
Hitesh, your screen is not visible.
guys, can you hear me now?
Yes,
Let me
yes.
share my screen back. I think I was explaining about Hadoop big data, right? So, to handle this issue of horizontal scaling, Hadoop came in. Hadoop big data. If you take few years back, Hadoop big data was a buzz. Okay, that was a hard skill, but majority of the Hadoop project did not succeed because of its flaws in its architecture. In our regular sessions, when we discuss architecture in depth, I'll explain like what problems we have in Hadoop architecture as well. So to overcome those limitations of relational database and Hadoop, Snowflake came up with a hybrid architecture. Okay, in case of Snowflake architecture, the main advantage is if you take storage is separate and compute is separate. So all our data, will be we have three layers in Snowflake architecture. In our regular sessions, we'll understand in depth on Snowflake architecture about all the things. So on high level, what it is in case of Snowflake architecture, guys, you can see my screen, right? Hello.
Yes, yes, Hitesh. You can.
Yes,
Yeah.
Hitesh.
Yeah. So in Snowflake architecture, we have got three layers: storage layer, query processing, cloud services. Okay. All our data, what we load into Snowflake, it will be stored in the storage layer in cloud. That since the data is stored in cloud, so in cloud there is no limit in terms of how much volume of data you can store. Even petabytes of data you can store. Okay. And how we'll pay cost is based on usage. There is no fixed cost as such. Suppose now, today, as of today, I'm using 1 terabyte of data, for example, or 2 terabytes of data, or 1.5 terabytes of data. So only for that I'll pay the cost. Based on usage, I'll pay the cost in case of Snowflake. Okay. So and there is no limit in terms of how much capacity or volume of data I can store. You can store whatever volume of data since data is stored in cloud. How it is stored in cloud? Stores in hybrid columnar format and in micro partitions. That way of storage has got advantages. Okay, to improve the performance and all. You'll get clarity on that as we progress. Like how did actually data is stored and what are the advantages with that way of storage. Okay, in detail. But since data is stored in cloud, there is no limit in terms of how much volume of data you can store. And by default, whenever you are trying to load data into Snowflake, the data gets compressed and encrypted. So we will be paying storage cost on top of compressed data, not like regular data. So the storage cost also will be less, not very high. In any cloud, if you take, storage costs are very minimal. On average, in Snowflake, how will pay storage cost is if you are storing 1 terabyte of data for the entire month, on average, you will pay $23. And that um, 1 terabyte is not like regular data, it is like say compressed data. If you are storing 1 terabyte of compressed data in Snowflake for 1 year, you are going to pay $23. Is it clear, guys? Okay. I mean, on average. So storage costs are minimal. On top of compressed data, 1 terabyte of data, for the entire month, if I'm storing, I'm going to pay on average $23. That's how we'll pay the storage cost. It is very minimal. And to run anything, see, right, even if you have to play a game in a computer, you need a compute power. Compute power means what? Processor, RAM, SSD storage, compute resources, that compute power. How you would get that in Snowflake is using, you have a separate layer called query processing. Okay. So, guys, can you see the screen and hear me? Hello?
Yes, yes, we can see.
Is the screen clear?
Yeah, it's clear.
Okay. If it is blurred or something, you can let me know. I have switched to a different network.
Sure, sure.
Yeah. So let's see here in query processing, we have something called virtual warehouses. What is virtual warehouses? It is a cluster of compute nodes. Cluster means group. As I was telling, right, if you can distribute the workload to multiple computers, we'll get. I mean, we can we'll get more performance, and we can complete the queries faster. How you would get that in case of Snowflake is using this particular query processing layer. Here you have something called virtual warehouses. Let me explain on high level what is a virtual warehouse for your reference. Say, yeah, see here. Virtual warehouses like cluster of compute nodes. Cluster means group. Okay, that is group of computers. Here, wherever we are discussing machine or node, if you are saying that is nothing but a computer. Okay, machine or node is nothing but a computer. Okay, cluster means group of computers connected together. Okay, as a network, group of computers connected as a network, that we call it as cluster through network. Okay, so in case of Snowflake, how you would get that compute power is using this particular virtual warehouses. Okay, what is a virtual warehouse? Virtual warehouse is nothing but cluster of compute nodes. So in Snowflake, um, to run our queries, we'll be using virtual warehouses. We have different sizes of virtual warehouses. T-shirt size. This virtual warehouses comes in different T-shirt sizes, like say extra small, small, medium, large. How it is extra small means I'm going to get a cluster of one compute node. Okay, one computer power I would get. Small means I'll get power of, I mean, a cluster of two compute nodes. A group of two computers power I would get to run my queries. If I choose the virtual warehouse size as small, see here, two nodes we are getting. Medium means a cluster of a group of four computers power I would get to run my queries. Large means 8. Excel means 16. Like that, it keeps on doubling. We can increase the size of the virtual warehouse till 6XL. 6XL means, I mean, if I choose the virtual warehouse size as 6XL, I'm going to get a group of 512 computers, a cluster of 512 compute nodes. You getting it? Okay. 6XL. If I choose the virtual warehouse size as 6XL, in the backend, I'm going to get a group of 512 computers. I mean, that much power I am going to get. You can think of in regular relational databases like Oracle, SQL Server, it is one computer nowadays, right? But if you, I mean, if you have the flexibility to increase the compute power to a group of 512 computers, how many queries you can execute? How much power you are going to get, compute power you are going to get? Okay, and it's not just 512. This virtual warehouse, okay, we can set in as a multi-cluster warehouse. You have something called multi-cluster warehouse in auto scale mode. If you set that virtual warehouse to auto scale mode, okay, then we can add 10 clusters of that size. Suppose if you take 6XL virtual warehouse you have used, if I set it to auto scale mode, whenever during peak times, Okay, when the number of users are more, suppose you take anyway, like say Flipkart Big Billion Days, Amazon sale, when they're doing, the number of visitors, okay, number of users who access data will be more, right, compared to other times. So in such scenarios, in the during the peak time, if you when the number of users are more, if you set your virtual warehouse to auto scale mode, okay, it can add up to 10 clusters of that size. That is, suppose if you're using 6XL virtual warehouse, okay, it can automatically add 10 clusters of that 6XL size. That means 6XL means you are going to get a cluster of 512 computers, right? See, virtual warehouse, if you choose the virtual warehouse size as extra small, you will get a cluster of 1 compute node. Small means cluster of 2 compute nodes. Medium means cluster of 4 compute nodes. That is, cluster means group, a group of 4 computers. Medium means large means a group of 8 computers. So if you see, it is getting doubled. If you increase the warehouse size, it is getting doubled. So 6XL means you'll get cluster of 512 computers. Okay. I can increase the capacity of my virtual warehouse anytime. Okay. Based on my complexity of the queries that are in a number of users that are trying to access Snowflake, I can increase the virtual warehouse size anytime. Okay. How I would get my compute power in case of Snowflake is using this virtual warehouses in query processing layer. Got it? And this compute power, I can extend it to, I mean, this up to this 6XL. And if I set that 6XL virtual warehouse in auto scale mode as a multi-cluster warehouse, based on, I mean, number of users, right? It can add additional clusters up to 10 of that size. That means 512 into 10. I can increase the capacity of my compute to 5120 compute nodes. To this level, I can scale the increase my capacity of my compute. Nowadays, it is in relational databases like SQL or Oracle, it is single machine, single cluster. I mean, like single machine, one computer. If you can expand the, I mean, if you can increase the capacity of that compute to 5120 computers, you can think of how many queries you can process. And how it is you'll pay cost only for based on the usage. If I'm not using say 6XL, if I'm using smaller warehouse, I'll pay less cost. And suppose even if it is 6XL virtual warehouse, if I use this virtual warehouse, say for example, for 90 seconds, I've used the 6XL virtual warehouse now for only 90 seconds. I'll pay cost only for 90 seconds. It is on second basis. How you will pay compute cost in Snowflake is on second basis. See, the main advantage for Snowflake is it is not like licensed. It is, you'll get free of cost. Like we can see anyone can sign up for a Snowflake account, even your clients, without any licensing cost. Okay, usually for others, say if you take even Oracle, relational database Oracle, it is not free. You'll have to pay license cost. Okay, but for Snowflake, you don't have to pay any licensing cost. How we'll pay the cost is based on usage. How much volume of data I store, I'll pay based on that storage cost. How much capacity of compute, I mean, how much compute I'm using, based on that, I'll pay the compute cost. Storage costs are very minimal. Compute is where we'll be paying bit amount to Snowflake, but that also is in our hands. Based on our usage, we'll pay the cost. As I said, how we'll pay for computers, based on how much time I'm using, I'll be paying the cost. Okay. So it is in our hands. Even if you use a bigger cluster, even say 6XL virtual warehouse, okay, I'm not going to pay entire the whole day or something like that. If the 6XL virtual warehouse is used for, say, as I said, 90 seconds, I'll pay cost exactly for 90 seconds. So that flexibility your clients are getting. They can increase the capacity to any level. Excel, large, small, medium, based on their complexity of the queries they run and number of users they have. Okay. up to 6XL they can increase. And you can set it to auto scale mode where it can add additional 10 clusters of that size. That is, you have the flexibility to increase the capacity of your compute to a group of 5,120 computers. Let me show you how the UI looks for your reference. This is the Snowflake UI. Okay, even daily basis, you'll be reading all this code. Okay, for your practice as a part of end of that session, SQL code. Okay, we'll be getting started with basics from the next session tomorrow onwards. From morning 7:30 to 8:30, we'll have the sessions. First session will get started with SQL and database basics. Then we'll get started with Snowflake architecture and other things. So here, suppose I would like to run a query here. Okay, in case of Snowflake, this is the Snowflake UI. How to sign up for this and how to run your queries, all that I'll be showing. Suppose I'm going to access data from one of the tables. If you have to run any query, select star from a table name. See, if you're not from data background, as I said, you'll be getting started from database basics, SQL basics. So don't have to worry. So that time you'll get complete clarity on things. Okay. Suppose if I have to run, right, this query, here is where I'll choose the virtual warehouse. See, you're getting virtual warehouse. What is the size of this virtual warehouse? Extra small. This virtual warehouse size I can increase anytime. See, extra small, small, medium, large, Excel. Got it? Okay, suppose now it is extra small. I wanted to make it as large. See, within fraction of seconds, you can increase the virtual warehouse size. Okay. And now it is in suspended state. Okay, the virtual warehouse is in suspended state. So I'm not going to pay any cost. See, the main advantage with this architecture, Snowflake architecture, is since storage is separate, compute is separate, whenever we don't need compute, okay, if I'm not running any queries, if I don't need compute power, I can suspend this virtual warehouses. In a sense, when the virtual warehouses are in suspended state, I'm not going to pay any cost, compute cost. Okay, based on, suppose if I am using the compute for, say, as I said, it is on second basis. How will pay compute cost in Snowflake is on second basis. Suppose as I'll now I'm going to run a query. This virtual warehouse comes into running state. Now it is in suspended state. If it is in suspended state, I am not going to pay any cost. How much time this warehouse is in running state? Based on that, I'll be paying the cost. Based on the size, based on how much time it is in running state. Okay. Since storage and compute are separate, we don't have to, pay the compute cost all the time. In case of relational database like Oracle SQL Server, even if they migrate the data to cloud, since they are going to, even in cloud, they are going to have like single mission even in the cloud if they migrate the Oracle database to cloud as well. Okay, so there, even if they are using or not, since it is coupled architecture, storage and compute will be in same machine. In case of relational databases, it is coupled. Here it is decoupled, in the sense storage is separate, compute is separate. So if both are separate, whenever I'm not using compute, I can suspend that, I can save that compute cost. Okay, I don't have to pay that time whenever I'm not going to use compute. Okay, and storage cost is separate, compute cost is separate. In case of relational databases, both storage and compute will be in same machine. So you can't suspend the compute, right? Got it? Yeah, that's the thing. Okay, that's the main, advantage with Snowflake architecture. Apart from this, if you take, there are a lot of unique features in Snowflake. Nowadays, on the, what is the trending thing now? You would have heard about Chat GPT, generative AI, LLM models. Okay, say Chat GPT related, that artificial intelligence, AI, right? Especially generative AI is a trending on If you take, that is a trending topic, and even a lot of clients are wanted to use that particular feature, chat gpt, generative ai, right? So those features already Snowflake has I mean introduced or accommodated those features in Snowflake. Why see, now you'll have one more doubt. If I learn Snowflake, how many days it will be there? I mean, this demand will be there. What will be the future scope for Snowflake? Always there will be demand for Snowflake. The reason is Snowflake is not going to get outdated. It is not a software actually. It is software as a service in cloud. Okay, what is this software as a service in cloud? Let me explain on high level. Okay, you would have heard about cloud, right? In cloud, how it is see, usually I was telling about this. One second. About this relational database servers, right? If you install that particular software in a computer, we call that as database server. Okay, so all these servers, database servers, okay, relational database servers, SQL or Oracle, whatever it is. So if they maintain all those servers at one place, okay, there'll be multiple database servers maintained by your client. If they're maintaining all those servers on their own, okay, at one place, if they're maintaining all those database servers at one place, we call that as data center. Okay, so if the client is maintaining this data center on their own, they have to buy all those computers, they have to install that operating system, either Windows or Linux, and then they have to install the software. Okay, they have to provide electricity, they have to provide a room for storing all those servers, they have to take care of security, they have to take care of hardware and software upgrades, everything they have to take care, right? If the client is maintaining everything on their own, if the data center is maintained in their on premises, if the client is maintaining everything on their own, if they buy a computer, if they install all these things, if they maintain that database server on their own, we call that as on premises. Okay, let me show you. On premises, on premises, you're getting it? On premises means the client will buy a computer, they will take care of everything, OS installation, server maintenance, like installing the software, everything end to end. The client, you manage means your client will manage. If the client is managing everything on their own, that is like on premises. Okay, and if you take to ease up things, right? Cloud came in, like, from Microsoft you have Azure, from Amazon you have Amazon Web Services, AWS, and from Google you have GCP, Google Cloud Platform. These are the major public cloud platforms, right? Why this? What is the advantage we get with these cloud platforms? What is cloud computing? What it is see, um, in case of cloud, you don't have to buy a computer. Okay, you don't have to pay a certain amount and buy a computer of your own. If you want a machine in cloud, if you want a through internet, okay, we will log into the cloud account. There, if you need a computer in cloud, right, you can choose what is the capacity. I mean, how much hard disk I need, what is the processor I would need, what is the RAM I need. I can choose all those things, and I can get a computer. But you're not going to buy it, the complete computer. Suppose I'm going to use it for one day, I'll pay cost only for that one day and I can use. You got it? That flexibility you would get in cloud. Okay. This cloud, I mean, service providers, right? They would operate in three modes, three models. One is, I mean, how these models would changes based on what you, how much you can manage, and how much you can and you wanted to manage, and how much your service or cloud provider wanted to manage. Got it? Based on that, you have this I mean, three models. One is, the one option is infrastructure as a service, platform as a service, software as a service. These are the three models in which your cloud providers would operate. Okay, I'll be explaining these things in detail in our regular sessions. Okay, infrastructure as a service on high level, and see in simple terms, infrastructure as a service means see managed by Microsoft, in the sense managed by cloud provider. What are the things? Networking, storage, servers, virtualization. Infrastructure as a service means, see in simple terms, you will get a machine in cloud, you will get a computer in cloud. Okay, in that computer, what operating system you wanted to install, either Windows or Linux, what operating system you wanted to install, that we have to install. That is, your client has to install that, and your client has to install the software, what database they wanted. I mean, whatever it is, not just database, whatever software they wanted to install, they can install, and they have to manage other things. Got it? Infrastructure means, right? You will get a, you can take a virtual machine, you will get in cloud. Virtual machine in cloud, you will get that capacity of that machine. You can choose. I mean, your client can choose what is the capacity that you need, configuration you need, how much RAM you need, how much, what is the processor you need, what is the uh, hard disk you need. Okay, based on that, they'll be paying the cost, and how much time you use, based on that, you will pay the cost. Okay, you don't have to buy that entire computer. Okay, and platform as a service means, uh, even that operating system, okay, will be installed by the cloud provider itself, and even software as well would be provided by the cloud provider itself. See, managed by Microsoft, this is managed by cloud provider. Okay, what the client has to manage is, see, these models, infrastructure as a service, platform as a service, software as a service, are based on how much the client wanted to manage, how much the cloud provider has to manage. Based on them, we have these three models. Got it? Yeah, on premises means everything will be managed by your client, by your client, by them itself. In these cloud models, infrastructure as a service, platform as a service, software as a service, they are based on how much the client wanted to manage and how much the cloud provider has to manage. So if you observe between these three models, infrastructure as a service, platform as a service, software as a service, um, in infrastructure service, what the client has to manage is more. They have to take care of operating system. I mean, they have to install operating system. They have to install the software. They have to manage everything here. They'll just get a machine in cloud, a virtual machine in cloud. Platform as a service means, along with the virtual machine, they'll get the operating system and software also installed. The other things the client has to manage, like say, if you take in database terms, there is something called partitioning, something called indexes, and backup. Okay, data backups. All these the client has to manage. Okay, but in case of software as a service, everything, majority of the things are managed by cloud provider. So, yeah, what you manage, that is your client will manage, is very limited. Limited in the sense, what I mean, so our Snowflake is software as a service in cloud. That's why I'm explaining. I was explaining about these models. Snowflake, right? Snowflake Data Cloud or Snowflake Cloud Database. That is like software as a service in cloud. Okay, that means majority of the things the cloud provider itself will manage. Okay, so since it is software as a service in cloud, through internet will be accessing. You don't have to install anything, and how it is, um, I mean, we'll pay cost based on usage, and um, here I was telling about these features, right? Generative AI, Cortex, all these things. Snowflake, since it is software as a service, whatever is to stay competitive in market, okay, in the back end, they will release all trending features. Whatever is trending on data side, those features they'll release in Snowflake. Like say recently, Chat GPT, a lot of clients wanted to use, right? Okay, that generative AI related things. So already that feature is available in Snowflake as a Cortex. Cortex is a ML machine learning service with the generative AI support. Got it? So those, whatever since Snowflake is software as a service, it will never get outdated. Okay, whatever features are trending on data side, all those features Snowflake will include. It's up to the client whether they wanted to use it or not. But the core will be same. The core, right? Like the Snowflake architecture, all those things are same. What we do as a Snowflake developer or Snowflake data engineer, they'll be same. If your client wanted to use those features, they can use, or else they can ignore whatever the old earlier whatever they are using. The same purpose they can use. Okay, they don't have to use these features. Say for example, Chat GPT, this generative AI things, right? They don't have to go for some other some other tool. Okay, that's their intention. They wanted to provide end-to-end service within Snowflake. Okay, so that a lot of new clients can come and existing clients also don't go to some other tool. Got it? So such features, what they have is you have document AI. So suppose if you take, you have images or PDF you have in PDF from see, nowadays it's not just structured data, right? You have unstructured data also, like say audio files, video files, images, PDFs, Word documents. Suppose you have a PDF. From that PDF, I need to extract the text. I need to get the text. Out of that, I wanted to do some analysis. Okay, using this document AI, we can extract the text out of PDF. Text out of PDF and use it for analysis. Okay, such features also Snowflake has added. And we have Copilot, where even SQL queries, like if you in general English, if you type, it will give you the SQL query as well. Actually, SQL itself it will be very easy, right? It will be like more general English. Okay, but even if you don't want to write any queries using this Copilot, if you just ask a question, it will give you the query for you to run using this Copilot feature. Okay, it is making it more simpler and easier for the users to use. Got it? Okay. And main advantages for Snowflake is it is available on all major public cloud providers like AWS, Azure, GCP. And since it is software as a service, it will be easy to use for your clients. And there are a lot of unique features in Snowflake, like time travel, okay, and data sharing, marketplace. Marketplace, what it is suppose you are storing some data. Okay, take the case of stock market data. So nowadays there are clients who would provide recommendations on stocks also, right? Buy this stock, sell this stock. These kind of recommendations also they'll provide. So how they'll provide that recommendation? They will do some analysis in the back end, right? So that trading data, how a stock is performing, where how much today, how that is getting traded. So all that information, that if they have to do analysis, they would need all this information, right? If they're maintaining all that data on their own, I mean, I'm a client who is providing recommendations on stock. So I'm maintaining all this data about all the stocks, which stock is performing, how all this information I'm maintaining in a day, how it is getting traded, all this data. That data is common for anyone, right? Others also who wanted to do some other analysis. So that data, since I'm already maintaining, after I use that data for my own analysis with this marketplace, I can sell that data also to others and make money. These kind of unique features Snowflake has. Okay, so that is not static data, live data. Daily, say whatever, like for all stocks, how they are getting traded. That live data, if I'm maintaining in my database, that in Snowflake, that I can share with other clients and make money. If the other clients, if they have to manage all that data on their own, okay, if they have to live data, if they have to maintain, they have to build all that process to load data continuously, right? So for that they'll have to invest a lot of time and money as well. But here with this marketplace, live data they'll get, and they can buy, they can pay certain amount and use that data for their analysis. This kind of unique feature Snowflake has. Got it? Whatever is trending on data side, if you heard about data fabric, data mesh, all those features Snowflake has. Okay, so you don't have to worry about the future of Snowflake. Still, even now, a lot of new features Snowflake has added. Earlier, if you take what is the purpose of Snowflake is, let me show you. Snowflake was primarily used as a data warehouse. You'll understand what is data warehouse when we get started. Okay. Tomorrow we'll get started with SQL content, and from day after tomorrow we will discuss about data warehousing, all these things. What is data warehouse? You'll get to know. Primarily, Snowflake earlier it was used as a data warehouse, cloud data warehouse. Okay, but now it can be used for a lot of other things: data lake, data science, data engineering workloads, Unistore. Okay, a lot of features and workloads Snowflake supports now. So the clients who would use Snowflake, okay, and the work on Snowflake is still going to increase much more. Why Snowflake has demand is this is a new technology, new tool, new technology, you can say. Like say since 2019, right? 18, 19, Snowflake came into picture, the Snowflake cloud, data cloud. Earlier, initially it was a Snowflake cloud data warehouse. Now it's not just data warehouse, right? You can use it for a lot of other workloads. So uh, they have named it as Snowflake data cloud. We call it a Snowflake data cloud. Got it? So since 2020, 21, it started booming. So that time, like even whatever is their background, even if they came 1 year of relevant Snowflake experience, we used to get a lot of calls. Now it is bit old, right? Old in a sense, like say 21 onwards, it started booming. Now it is already 2 3 years. So they would be expecting you to have relevant at least 2 to 3 years of relevant Snowflake experience. If you claim 2 to 3 years of relevant Snowflake experience, whatever is your background, in a sense, so earlier experience, you can switch to Snowflake. I mean, you will get an opportunity on Snowflake, and demand is high because no, actually, the folks who know Snowflake are less, and a lot of opportunities are there. Okay, that's the reason. If you take other technologies, since they're there since long back, like say 10 years, 15 years, they would expect more relevant experience, not just 2 years, 3 years like that. Relevant experience also. They'll expect 5 years, 10 years relevant experience. But Snowflake, since it is a new technology, like even if you claim 2 to 3 years of relevant experience on Snowflake, you will have the opportunities. Got it, guys? Any confusion, any doubts we can discuss now?
So, hi Hitesh.
Yeah, yeah.
I have a doubt. So, people are asking ETL process and ETL concepts also along with
Yeah.
this.
So yeah. Along with Snowflake, for you to crack your interviews, whatever are required, all that we'll be discussing. Okay, not just
Okay.
the Snowflake stuff. So let me explain you the course things. Like say, we'll have I mean, just the Snowflake contents will have 40 hours, and the SQL another let's say around 50 hours of content we'll have. If you're already from SQL background, you can skip them. Okay, that's the thing. And regular sessions will be Monday to Friday, 7:30 to 8:30. Okay, that will be the regular Snowflake sessions. Every Saturday we'll have SQL session, like either from 8 to 9 or 7:30 to 8:30. Okay, we'll have SQL sessions on weekends, like say Saturday. Sunday will not have a session because for your practice also you would need some time, right? So and here these are the skills I was telling you are asking about the skill set, right? Like mandatory skills are you need, okay, Snowflake. I mean, this Snowflake data cloud or Snowflake cloud data warehouse, SQL, data warehousing concepts, and some cloud exposure, like say AWS, Azure. Mainly storage service is what we use. So whatever services you would read, I mean, you would need for you to work on Snowflake, all those things we'll be discussing. These are the mandatory skills. Apart from this, mandatory skills, if you have any ETL, if you know any ETL tools, okay, or any reporting tools, that will be advantage. Okay. So what we will be covering is we'll be covering this mandatory skills plus data build tool, which is a transformation tool, which has got a lot of demand nowadays, along with Snowflake. Okay, you will get to know what it is. It is like in your ETL, the transformation part will be taken care using DBT.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
the DBT integration will be covering, and ETL tools, we'll be discussing ADF, Azure Data Factory, because nowadays a lot of Snowflake projects, right? They are using in combination with Azure. Okay, so in Azure, what is the ETL tool that we have is Azure Data Factory. Got it? That Azure ADF integration we'll see along with I mean DBT integration. We'll discuss ADF, and we'll be discussing both AWS and Azure integration with Snowflake, not just one cloud, both AWS and Azure. Because if you take, since Snowflake is available in all clouds, now mainly along with Snowflake, what are the clouds that will be that your client should be using is AWS or Azure. GCP and GCP itself, right? If you take the entire cloud market share, mainly AWS and Azure are the, has acquired the majority of the clients are using either AWS or Azure. Google Cloud is right. Just clicking, in a sense, not more than 10% of market share is occupied by GCP. Majority of the share, say around 70%, AWS and Azure has taken in the entire cloud market share. So even if you take Snowflake projects, they'll be in either combination with AWS or Azure. So we'll be discussing both AWS and Azure integration. Okay. So you can keep one project on Azure and Snowflake combination, one project on AWS and Snowflake combination. Okay. Don't worry, for you to, let's say, crack an interview on Snowflake, get an offer on Snowflake, whatever skills you need, and for you to work on Snowflake, whatever skills you need. So those we'll be discussing. Okay. Any questions? Any questions from anyone? Any doubts? In our regular sessions, you'll get complete clarity on things, right? This is just demo session. On high level, I was explaining what, even on the Snowflake architecture side, okay, the cloud computing related, that infrastructure service, platform service, you'll get in detail in our regular sessions. Okay, even relational databases. If you're not from data background, we'll get started with basics, so you'll get clarity that time. Any questions or any doubts from anyone? Yeah, from tomorrow we'll get started. From 7:30 to 8:30 we'll have the regular sessions. So we'll get started with SQL basic sessions. I'll keep you posted in the group. If you're referred by someone, you can get in touch with them. They'll share you the details. Any questions from anyone? Yeah.
So actual Snowflake sessions, when they will be started?
From Tuesday we'll get started with Snowflake contents.
Okay.
So how it will be is, just tomorrow we'll have the SQL basic session, because if someone is from non-SQL or non-data background, they should know about, certain things on database, right? Since Snowflake is a cloud database, if you directly pitch into Snowflake, they may not understand. That's the reason once tomorrow we'll get started with SQL basics. Then from Tuesday onwards, we will have Snowflake content, and our remaining SQL contents we'll be discussing from every Saturday. We'll have the SQL session. If you're not from data background, you can join that. It's optional. If you're already from SQL background, you can skip that.
Okay.
Any questions from anyone? Any doubts?
No, sir.
Hi.
Yeah.
Hi.
Yeah, hi,
So,
Dharmendra.
yeah, hi. I just wanted to know, normally company will be having this 90 days notice period, right? So, if we learn Snowflake and are the companies are okay with this 90 days
See,
notice?
to be frank, like how it is nowadays, like like companies are not ready to wait for 90 minutes. Okay, sorry, 90 days notice period. So majority of the times you'll get more calls if your notice period is less than a month. If it is 1 month or less than a month. Okay, if your notice period is 1 month or less than a month, they'll prefer such candidates. But whenever the drive happens, like say they'll hire for the pool, not for the direct project. They'll the clients nowadays, if you take even few companies will accept 90 days notice period. So that time, like you should not negotiate per package and all. You should get one offer, resign, and then once the notice period goes down, then you should try for a better opportunity. You got it? When it reaches 30 days, then that time you should get the demand for more package and get higher I mean uh, packages and get a good offer. That's the thing. Okay. But if you're an immediate joiner, or if you have less than 1 month of notice period, then you'll get a lot of calls. Even if it is 3 months notice period, whenever they'll have a drive and they hire for pool to the bench. That time, you'd get calls. That is also happening even now. Even like say, if you take a lot now, which clients are hiring more on Snowflake is, which particular companies. If you take LTM entry, a lot of openings are there on Snowflake. Accenture, a lot of openings are there. HCL has got a lot of openings. Okay, all the time hiring will be going on in LTM entry, HCL, like Accenture, Capgemini, UST Global, Infosys, Wipro. Okay, all MNCs. You can check what is in LinkedIn or in Naukri. You can search Snowflake Cloud Data Warehouse or Snowflake Data Cloud. You will get to know.
Okay.
Hmm.
Okay. Thank you.
Openings are good on Snowflake compared to if you take ETL tools. Nowadays, earlier you'll have Informatica, Data Stage, these kind of ETL tools, right? If you know only ETL tool, you won't get calls on now. The present market trend is like that. And Power BI also, you may not only Power BI, Tableau, those skills also, you're not getting calls, interviews scheduled. But even if you keep only the Snowflake mandatory skills also, you'll get calls. Okay, Snowflake has got demand. This mandatory skills which I was showing.
So one more question, Hitesh. So you are covering Snow Pro also, right? Snow Pro
Yeah,
something
you
I
can easily
understood.
clear Snowpro core certification. Okay, after the end of this session.
Okay. Okay.
Whatever things you get in Snowpro core, and even for advanced architect, we'll be discussing as a part of our regular session. By end of this
And
session, you can easily clear Snowpro core certification. For your practice, for your confidence, before you take the exam, I'll be sharing a couple of dumps also, Snowpro certification dumps. If you practice them and if you give 100%, you can clear the certification.
the people are asking this also, Snow Pipe like that, CI/CD something will be there, right? Pipeline.
Yeah, all that will be covered. Don't worry.
Yeah. Okay.
For you to
CI/CD.
crack interviews, whatever are required, all those things will be covered. Yeah.
Okay.
Mhm.
CI/CD means what?
That is for deployments. Okay. Once the thing, once you do the development, then for deploying the code to other environments, we'll have that CI/CD process. Yeah. You'll get clarity as we progress. We just started, right?
Okay. Thank
Hmm. Fine. Whoever has doubts, they can stay in the call. Others can drop off.
Thank you, Hitesh. Thank you all.
Yeah. Thank you. If anyone has any doubts or any confusion, you can stay in the call and you can ask. Akshay, Anil, Dharmendra, Kalyan, Kawal, Kiran.
Yeah, hi, Hitesh. Good morning.
Yeah, hi.
What is the better combination along with Snowflake?
Nowadays, Snowflake plus DBT has got more demand.
Okay. So just are you going to cover the DBT configuration or some
DBT
core
integration. Yeah.
Okay.
Like say how to create models, snapshots, macros, those things.
Okay.
Since DBT is a new tool, okay,
Right.
it is an open source tool. If you, what they would expect from you as well as at least you should have created few models, and you should be aware like how you integrate that with Snowflake. Okay.
Okay.
Mhm.
So any suggestions on reporting tool to
No,
keep?
reporting tool is not mandatory. If you're
Okay.
already from reporting background, like say Power BI, Tableau, then like if you, I mean, only as I said, only with Power BI, Tableau, you'll not have opportunities.
Right.
So if you learn Snowflake, it will be advantage for you. You'll get opportunities. If you keep Snowflake plus Power BI or Tableau, then you'll have like wherever the see nowadays they're all migration works projects right on Snowflake. Say they'll be migrating from Oracle to Snowflake or SQL Server to Snowflake or big data to Snowflake, Teradata to Snowflake, like this. Okay, so there if they're already pointing the reports to say earlier, if it is say for example SQL Server or Oracle, those reports they'll have to repoint to Snowflake, and all the views or whatever functions they have created in that earlier database, they'll have to create in Snowflake. So they will expect you to be to have some exposure on Snowflake.
Okay, that means the front end is not going to change, only back end is going to change. So they'll
Correct.
expect more exposure on Snowflake and
Correct.
DB side, not on front end.
That's right. So what's your background? Which technology you worked earlier?
I worked on OAC and Power BI.
Okay. Then yeah. So if you learn Snowflake, it will be advantage for you. If you take only Power BI, you can check market is not that good. I mean,
Right.
even getting calls also is tough. But if you keep Snowflake plus Power BI, then you'll get more opportunities.
Oh, thank you.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Any other questions from anyone?
Sir, the thing is, I am from an infrastructure background. So I am a DevOps engineer, lead. So how does this helps me?
Yeah, like say since we are getting started from scratch, right? You don't have to worry. You'll be able to follow up. And if you take now the infra side things are going up, right? The demand is going down. So this is on data side, data engineering, mainly data engineering, data science, data analysis, analyst sort of things, right? For this, always there will be demand. Okay, it won't say date wherever it is, data should be there, right? You should be able to manage the data and do the things. So demand for this Snowflake will always be there, but infra side it is slowly going down. So if you learn Snowflake, you'll be into the long term things. Even in long run, like you'll not have any issues. Yeah.
Sure,
If
sir.
you yeah.
Yeah, Hitesh, one more question. So coming to the SQL part, so do we need a SQL, just SQL, or we also require knowledge on PL SQL like functions and flow procedures?
Yeah, I mean, it depends on the project. Okay, like few clients will use will create procedures, functions, all these things as well, and a few clients they'll use tools for transformations. Mainly for transformations is where we create procedures, right? Few
Yeah.
clients will create procedures. Few clients they'll use tools, like say ETL tools, or they'll use this DBT for transformations nowadays. It depends on the client, but we'll be covering even how to create procedures, function, those things
Okay.
also.
As part of weekends, Saturday
No,
sessions, are you covering?
procedures and functions will be discussing as a part of regular Snowflake content itself. Because in Snowflake, it's bit deep. I mean, it will be same majority of the things like regular relational database only will create, but it supports other things also in Snowflake. If you take procedures, not just SQL, it supports other languages, Java, JavaScript, but only SQL is the primarily used language, but
Okay.
support Python, Java, SQL, JavaScript, everything. Okay.
Got it. Yeah.
So we'll be discussing few things on that. Mainly SQL only will use even inside procedures, but
So generally,
yeah.
how that will be in real time? Like, is the SQL knowledge is sufficient, or just we need to
SQL is the core.
Sorry?
SQL is the core, like
Okay.
for a Snowflake data engineer or Snowflake developer.
Okay. Thank you.
If you know Python, it will be advantage, but it is not mandatory.
Okay.
Mhm.
Hi, what package can we expect if we, claim to have around 2+ years of experience in Snowflake?
Overall, how much
Overall
experience?
7+, relevant, say
Overall
around
7+. See,
2.5.
on average, how it is I missed to tell how you'll be getting the packages is. Let me explain. Years of experience into three to four. That is, you are saying relevant. Your overall experience is 7 years, right? 7 years means average packages 7 into 3. Okay, that is 21 minimum, and the average is in this range 7 into 3 and 7 into 4. This is the average packages what you get.
Okay.
That is 28. This is the average package. You can get more as well, but depending on the opportunity that you get. But 21 to 28 is the average package for 7 years of experience. Years of experience into 3 and 4. That is the current trend, in the sense the range what you get. Suppose if you have 5 years, 5 into 3, 5 into 4. That is 15 to 20 is the expected package.
So in this case, so they won't consider about only Snowflake experience. They'll take only overall experience.
Overall experience they'll take to give package, but out of that overall experience, they'll expect 2 to 3 years of relevant Snowflake experience.
Okay.
Hmm.
So what if the experience is more than 10? Like
see, up to 40 lakhs, you can easily go. Beyond 40,
no.
yeah.
Not about package. Like if the guy is having more than 10 years experience,
For
so
them
how much
also,
relevant
3
experience
years
of Snowflake they'll expect?
3 years relevant experience, 3 to 4 years max.
Okay, 4 years.
Don't have more. Yeah, because this is a new technology, right? Even if you claim like more experience, they will also know, because it started booming since 2021.
Correct.
Then you can take how many years you have, 21, 22,
3
23,
years.
max 3-4 years.
Yeah.
Even if you take 20 also, even if you started working since 2020 as well, how many years it is?
Yeah,
4 years.
4 years. Correct. Okay.
Mhm.
Thanks.
Mhm. Okay. Any other questions from anyone?
So there will be no evening batches, right? Only morning batch. Right?
Yeah, right now, see, I'm also working. We'll have only one batch. So evening sometimes we'll have like client calls and all. May not be able to take up continuously, but morning to 7:30 to 8:30, there'll be no breaks. I mean, majority of the only 1 or 2 till the end of the completion of the training.
Yeah. Just
And
one
the
question.
duration would be around 2 months, is it?
You can take 50 days, around 2 months.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like, how's the market like? Even if we keep upload our resume, so like, what's the percentage that in terms of percentage, how's the market for Snowflake? Like, we are not seeing any much calls for this OAC and Power BI.
Yeah, that's what I told you, right? Power BI now it has gone like since last 1.5 years.
We have uploaded like along with the ETL tool and different like Tableau, OAC, and Power BI combination of different reporting tools. But still, market looks dull. We are not seeing any even not only calls, even we are not getting any emails also. So how that will be added advantage if we go with Snowflake, and how how many calls we can expect at least?
So what is your overall experience?
I have 10 years.
See, there are different factors. One is your years of experience, your current package, your notice period, and your skill set. Skill set is primary. The remaining things are also, influencing factors. You know, right? So, but only Power BI, I already told you, for Power BI, even for ETL tools like Informatica, only if you take it, if you tell only ETL tool exposure you have, then opportunities are very less now. But if you add Snowflake along with that, along with your current skill set, definitely you'll get more opportunities. And it depends on other factors as well. As I said, your current package, your notice period. If it is 90 days, you will get calls, but it will be less.
Yeah, it
Because
is actually
more
90
trial
days.
happens, that time only you'll get. But if it is less than 1 month, for sure you'll get calls.
Okay.
And
Actually,
package,
it's 90 days.
if it is more than 30 plus, if you have already 30 plus lakhs of package, then calls may not be more. But if it is around less than 30, definitely you'll get more calls.
Okay.
Up
So,
to 45 we can go. I mean, even for 10 years experience. But above, if your current package is more than already 35, for example, then you'll get calls, but they will also check, right, your current CTC. If they're
right,
sometimes, if you take regular service based companies, majority of the times if you take say Infosys, Wipro, their budget will be till 30, 32, 35
correct.
max.
Yeah,
So
now
if
notice
your
period is really main problem.
if your package is beyond their offered CTC, then they won't call you.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll speak with you.
Yeah, yeah.
Hemant.
Yeah, sure it is. Thank you.
Mhm. Any other questions from anyone, guys? Silambu, Revan, Ravichandran, Rajkumar, Prashant, Kaval, Kalyan, Anil.
No, sir.
Hello,
Yeah.
Hitesh.
No.
I just wanted to ask if we are from